Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, except today. Running a little late, behind schedule, had some conflicts, but we still got the show happening. We're going to get this done quick. Games have already been tipped off. We're going to try and get you guys in on the next games coming up within the next hour until the late night. Not going to force anything. May only have about 1 or 2 plays. If we have 3, sure. Typically, we have about 3 to 4 plays a day. But again, we'll just kind of dive into it here. Again, go to sportbetextra.com. That's where you're going to get all my plays. Same way we're starting the show, as always, with the overall record. Let's put that up and get to it real quick. Plus 25.89 units yesterday. We go 3-0. What a great day. Great way to kind of get February going there. Grizzlies plus 8. We talked about that on the show. That was our free play. That line moved from plus 5.5 to plus 8 while on the show because of the Julius Randle news. Again, didn't matter. Part of our NBA betting strategy was taking Grizzlies plus 8 there, so that's a winner. Talked about it slightly on the show. If you watched, you got this play, kind of. Stephen F. Austin, money line. Winner there, plus 132. We got with Stephen F. Austin. And then Sacramento State, late night game, minus 1.5. Easy win and cover there. They win by double digits, so no problem with Sacramento State. That's where we are currently. NBA 34-28, college basketball 125 and 97. 55% win rate here overall across all sports. MLB, we'll get into once MLB starts rolling. We're going to continue off that 3-0 record and get into when that season gets going. But we still got a while to go before MLB. Right now, it's strictly college basketball, NBA. That's where we are looking. What a great show we've got for today. Games going on already in action. Miami, Ohio, will they stay undefeated against Buffalo on the road? Lane, I believe it was a 5.5 number, down to maybe 4.5 at closing time. They're up 3 right now at the half. Great game to watch there. Miami, Ohio, man, top 25. Look at them. That's awesome. Looking at some others, Ole Miss at Tennessee is already underway. Of course, Boston College, Duke, Xavier, UConn. Never going to see me really much on Xavier in the Big East play. Let's move to the 7 o'clock games for college basketball. Within the next 45 minutes, these games will be tipping off. So, again, we got to make this show quick. Get over to the website. All the plays will be posted there. I will be giving out a free play here at the end of the show. St. John's, DePaul. St. John's laying the 9.5 on the road against DePaul. We were actually on that game with Butler against St. John's. Did not get anywhere near covering that one there. St. John's is good, man. They're a good team, especially at home. That's what they like to win in dominating fashion. With UConn on deck at home, not sure how they'll do here against DePaul. It was kind of that same situation as last night, right? North Carolina with Duke on deck. Syracuse, they're welcoming them into their home gym. And, yeah, first half, it did not look good for Syracuse, but that was what I talked about with Syracuse. Hey, watch for them to cover. North Carolina just kind of look ahead spot for them, and they fell asleep second half. Syracuse did cover that number. Could be the same situation here for St. John's, DePaul. St. John's, 9.5-point favorite. You're asking them to win by double digits there. Yeah, they've got UConn on deck back at home. I'd be careful if you are going to lay that number with St. John's. Just the way I would look at that one. I'd probably lean DePaul to cover the spread there. Getting into some mid-major games. Again, we've talked about how we like to bet these college basketball games. There's one I'm eyeing here that we may be taking as our free play. This is tipping off in the next 40 minutes. Indiana State, Evansville. These two met earlier this year. Indiana State against Evansville there. Indiana State lost 72-69 there at home. Now they're back on the road. I mean, they have not looked good. They've lost 5 straight games. But Evansville on the other side as well, they're not a good team. I mean, both teams really they struggle to defend. Turnovers are an issue for both of these teams. Indiana State has the slight edge on field goal shooting, as well as 3-point field goal. I mean, if that. However, free throws are what kill them. I would lean Indiana State here for that game, playing a small number, -1.5. That would be the way I would take this one. Again, lost against Evansville. Games in college basketball where we had these teams matching up. Typically, we're going to see a 1-1 type of record. Yeah, I would lean Indiana State here for this game. I've been semi-high on Lindenwood. Now they're welcoming in SIU Edwardsville, laying about a 4.5 number there. They lost, and I believe we might have been on this game. They lost by 4 there against SIU. I would lean Lindenwood here, -4.5 now. That's just, a team that, again, kind of that same situation, playing your other team from earlier in the season. As of late, have been, off and on, but it's not a team that I would fade. In this situation, laying the 4.5, I would be fine laying that with Linden. NC State, SMU, that screams down spot for me for NC State. Of course, we knew against Wake Forest. We were on that one against Wake Forest. Wake Forest had some injuries that they were dealing with, so NC State took advantage of that one there. Will it be the same against SMU? No, SMU is a different team. Coming off that loss on the road against Louisville, I would probably lean SMU here for this one. A much better shooting team than Wake Forest. Rebounding as well. That's the way I would probably go. I'd expect a fast-paced, up-and-down game. Maybe even the over. I believe it's around a 159.5 looking at it right now. I'd probably lean the over for NC State SMU if I'm going anyway on that game. Pittsburgh, Virginia, I wouldn't have any action there. St. Louis, Davidson, yeah, kind of a weird one. St. Louis laying the 9.5. These two teams haven't matched up yet. I mean, Davidson, yeah, definitely not going to be confident at all taking this team, but I could see them covering this number here. They like to cover these double-digit type numbers. I would lean probably Davidson, but I would not be comfortable taking that one there. Nevada, Boise State, that's an interesting one. I was high on Boise State earlier in the season. As of late, yeah, they've been okay, but they haven't really played anybody. I mean, they had a little bad stretch there, losing to San Diego State, Grand Canyon, Utah State, UNLV in a row. And then have come back after that, won 4 straight, then lost the last one against Grand Canyon there. That's a tough game going on the road against Grand Canyon. Against Nevada, yeah, laying a 6.5, not very confident in that one. Nevada has been pretty decent as of late as well. I mean, losses coming there against Utah State, San Diego State, and New Mexico, all tough teams. I would lean Nevada here plus 6.5 on this one against Boise State. I'm not quite confident on Boise State here, even though, again, this is one of those where those teams kind of flip-flop, right? Nevada already beat Boise State back in December. What is that, 81-66? So we would typically expect Boise State to win here. I don't know about that cover, though. That 6.5 is kind of that's pushing it. I feel more comfortable with a 3.5 number for this one. Boise State, I'm not sure if I'd be laying that 6.5. Indiana, USC. I was high on Indiana earlier in the season and pretty down on USC. I'm still not quite sure what to make of this Indiana team. Of course, you lose to Iowa, Michigan State, Nebraska. You lose to those tough schools. Then you beat Purdue, which we know is a solid school. Then you go on the road, you beat UCLA as an underdog there, where we expected a down spot. We were actually on UCLA that game. Now you're there at USC. Does Indiana continue to roll? That's tough to tell. I mean, USC has played well as of late, also keeping it pretty close, even in some of those losses against Purdue, only losing by 5, Northwestern there by 6. Beating Wisconsin outright, keeping it close there with Iowa, barely squeaking by Rutgers. So this game is really going to go either way. With that number 1.5, there is nothing to suggest either one of those. If we were catching near 4 or 5 points, then maybe we could make a case of being on the side of one of those teams. But just not really sure what we're going to get with these teams right now. I love Indiana shooting, but will it continue to tonight? I don't see why not. But again, wouldn't be too confident laying that one there. College basketball, again, there's not too much that we're getting into today. I know we're kind of late on that one here. So we'll just jump into NBA, see if there's anything we like. We don't have anything with our NBA betting strategy for today. I believe the next time we will have a play for the betting strategy will be on the 7th. But I'll double check. I don't have that in front of me, but it looks like that. I think that's what we're going to be looking at. If we're looking at the NBA, Hawks, Heat, no thanks. Not going to be on that game. Don't really have enough time to get that one out. So we'll just be off that one. Looking at Bulls, Bucks. Bulls making a lot of moves with guards recently, just right here before the trade deadline on Thursday. They're adding quite a few pieces. It looks like, of course, they got rid of Ivy there. They got rid of Vucevic. They brought in, I want to say it was Conley. Yep, Mike Conley, for the Bulls there. This Bulls team, I'm not sure what we're going to get. And there's talks of maybe moving Kobe White as well. I wouldn't be on this team or this game at all. Again, small number there, -1.5. This one's you just kind of wait back and see what's going to happen before the trade deadline. A lot of moving pieces there with both of those teams, most likely. Magic, Thunder laying that big number, 11.5. And no Franz Wagner still. Jalen Williams out, of course, for the Thunder. Hartenstein, he is a game-time decision. It looks like he's good to go as of 3 minutes ago. He will be playing. I don't think that really moves the needle much for that team. Looking at any of the other injuries, possibly Jalen Williams. Yep, he's good to go. The Jay Williams, not the Jalen, the Jalen. So just make sure you keep note of that. I wouldn't be on either side of that one, however. Maybe Magic, 11.5. That'd be a way I would lean. Celtics, Mavericks, nothing interesting there. Sixers, Warriors. Again, this Sixers team, they played well against the Clippers last night. I talked about this one. I thought maybe, hey, take Clippers first half. If you did, it wasn't a good look on my part. We didn't have that play again. That was just kind of a lean, an idea, maybe take that, but that was no good. Sixers played pretty well. I mean, shooting 44% from 3. That's most likely going to get it done. I mean, rebounding the ball, not turning the ball over, definitely is going to be a huge part of that team. So will they do the same against the Warriors tonight? Most likely. Even with Embiid out, I don't think that's too big of a deal. No Steph Curry as well for the Warriors. I would probably lean Sixers plus 4.5 here, even with no Embiid there. Again, not a big deal for me. They've got other guys who can just slide in and play and fill that position as well. So I would lean against Sixers there plus 4.5 against the Warriors. Again, not a lot today. This is going to be a quick show because we are late, running out of time. We got to get picks in. So we're going to go down to college basketball. One of the games we just talked about as the free play here. Let me pull that up on ProfitX. Again, go sign up on ProfitX. Get you 20% purchase match using the code Paul Rami there. Buy $100, get 20% of that. We will be looking at college basketball, Lindenwood Lions minus. It looks like we're getting about a 4.5 right here. Lindenwood minus 4.5. That's going to be the free play of the day that we're going with. Lindenwood minus 4.5. We're getting a minus 106 number on that. Not too much juice, so I am good with that. Lindenwood 106 minus 106 there. Lay 106 to win 100. So anytime I'm talking about plays and what all we're giving out, if we're paying some juice, we're paying that amount just to win the 100. If we're on any sort of underdogs, we're putting 100 to win whatever the plus money is. That's just the way it works. So Lindenwood 106, we're risking 106 to win 100 there, and that's going to be the free play of the day. Lindenwood minus 4.5. The rest of the plays will be posted within the next 5 minutes there on SportBetExtra.com. Go get your free trial. Win with me. Yesterday went 3-0. Let's continue that. If you enjoy it, get back on. I've got 1 week, 1 month, 3-month packages for you. I will see you all tomorrow on time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Have a good one.